On this episode of Star Trek Universe, our town, our trauma, and real-life scars. Is the life of the village against the life of the stars? We're talking Starfleet Academy 108, the life of the stars, after these words from our mystery observers of mortals.
Welcome to Star Trek Universe, podcast where you get to listen in on two lifelong friends sit and chat about Star Trek like they always do. My name's Matthew Carroll.
I'm David C. Robertson.
What's up, man?
What it do?
It do things. It do things.
I've heard that it do.
Oh yeah, the rumors are true.
It do what it do, and it do it well.
You want to dive right in? Our town, our stars, something like that?
It's called The Life of the Stars.
Oh, you said a bunch of things at the beginning, and I was going with what you said.
The quote, the life of the village against the life of the stars comes from the play Our Town, which is the play that they were doing.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Okay.
I thought you said something about never mind. What did you think of the episode?
I think it should have been last week.
See, here's the thing. I agree. I thought the exact same thing. We talked about how last episode could have been an email. It should have been like maybe just the first 5 minutes of this episode should have been him like avoiding talking to her for a month, like a little time lapse or something. I would have been fine with that. I do think that this one benefits from some distance with like some time has passed, so Tarima is in a different place mentally. I think that's important, but I do think that you're completely right. This would have been better, an immediate follow up, and it's just a month later because,
Yeah, but it starts off a bit slow, but I wound up crying like 4 times.
Me too. I cried multiple times. Yeah. I think for whatever reason, this was just so much more weighty. Last week was all we talked about last week how not much really happened, and it was all just about the emotions of the crew and like kind of just getting to know people and stuff, and like that. And I'm like, that's fine. It's a character episode. But there's no plot really. This one was kind of the same thing. I mean, the Sam stuff was stakesy. It had weighty stakes, but it could have, like, it was still basically just character development. It was a big decision for the Doctor, and I'm wondering how much we will interact with that decision in the future, like how their interactions will change. They must. I mean, they're going to have to, or the show is losing a huge opportunity.
Absolutely.
But the way he walked away from her at the end felt... The limited action we saw between them after this experience made me think, like, wait, was that just like was him raising her?
Finally.
Well, that's the thing. She walks away, and I think he got this sort of like, he walked away and sort of like turned and walked away like with a sense of duty, and it kind of felt like a parent dropping a kid off at college. The kid's excited to run to their friends and leave the parent behind, but he felt like it was really weighing on him,
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And Akka as well, as she was like, they were there for 17 years. They weren't the only one. So like when she walks back on the bridge, it's like she's seeing all of this again for the first time in 17 years.
Wait, did she stay for the whole 17 years? I didn't think she did.
It was 2 weeks, but yeah, she was there. She literally said, they're not the only ones.
I see. I thought they were talking. I forget the line they said. What is she saying that to? Because the way I took that line completely differently.
She just said that they just spent 2 weeks, which was 17 years for them, and that she's like, they weren't the only ones. As she's like walking on the bridge and looking over it, like, there was definitely a sense of this is the first time she has seen the ship.
Interesting.
In 17 years.
But then why wasn't she just a part of the raising? Why didn't she offer to raise her? You know what I mean? Like the whole thing Like, it doesn't, like, her whole thing is this maternal feelings toward the kids, and she's a teacher, and she loves raising children. I don't know, that raises more questions, because I thought what had happened is one of them had to stay, and he volunteered because he was feeling this sense of guilt and duty and all this stuff, and he decided to stay and overcome his demons to help this girl, and that's beautiful. But I thought Ake left, because we never see her in that whole thing. She does say they're not the only ones, but I thought she was saying it like metaphorically, because she lost a child, and like there's this sort of like, I thought she was talking about how this time period since the Miyazaki had weighed on her, this time had felt long, and all this, and like them taking 17 years, or like all this time it's taken off their lives. For her, it was a metaphorical thing, or like an emotional labor she'd been through, I guess, is what I thought she meant by that line. But you might be right. It raises questions, because if she was there and she didn't, that's an interesting character choice. But I would have liked to see that, like her looking in on what's going on, because if she was there but not taking a part of this whole thing, then that would really say something about her not wanting to have another child. You know what I mean? Like, because she also lost a child. Like, there's just interesting character questions that brings up, and I haven't really thought about it because I interpreted that differently.
Yeah, I think the important thing was, you don't want to create the belief that they raised Sam together as if they were a couple of some sort. But if she did stay there, and she may not have, maybe I misunderstood. She may not have, but if she did, she could look in as an aunt, or something,
sure, exactly,
or a family friend from time to time.
Well, even if they're not romantically involved, they could still like work together in the raising of her. It's weird if she stayed the whole time but just didn't interact with them.
Yeah, and I don't think she would have gone back to the shuttle and just hung out for like 2 weeks in the shuttle.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
I absolutely do.
Think so?
Because she's like, you could either wait here and it'll take 17 years, or you could go back to the shuttle for 2 weeks. Yeah, I'd pick the shuttle any day.
Sure. I don't know. That's interesting. That's an interesting. I'm curious, because I thought that was pretty obvious, but maybe the that could be interesting. Like, there's definitely some unresolved bullshit with her dead son.
Oh, absolutely, and it's been mostly expressed through Caleb, but that's still a thing, and she's still been raising children on Bajor as a teacher, and taking such a big part in their lives because she feels passionate about that, and it's clearly like her whole thing is being this maternal figure for all of these students, and now she has this opportunity to truly do that, and because of her lanthanite aging, like, she could have done it instead of the doctor, and like, I actually think it would have been an interesting thing if the doctor had been like, I cannot do it, and like left her there, or like any version of that. But it was also beautiful to see him do that, and what that will mean for his character going forward.
Yeah, I think it was important that it was him.
Totally.
Of the shared experiences already, of being photonics in a world of organics. But also it's just important because, like, why has he been such a dick this whole season? Oh, it's, and I would have loved if they had expanded that just a little bit, because like when he pointed out the daughter he lost in the episode Real Life. But, they also like mentioned Gotana, and I'm pretty sure he had a son in that episode. He had a family on Gotana in that, with the time that was out of sync there as well. So that, he didn't go into like having lost so many people from, Voyager and all these other years. Like, there, over the years he would have lost a lot of people.
Yes.
And they could have honed in on that a little bit more and just said that he's fucking weary from all this loss.
Yeah. It's so funny, that episode from Gotana with the time thing popped up on my TikTok algorithm today, and I see like little like one scene from a Star Trek episode constantly, and so it was just funny that scene popped up today.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he did mention it in the episode. I wish they had gone a little deeper into it has been 800 years.
Yes,
he would have lost a lot of people.
He talks about it, how he's he's the stage manager, right? He's the character. I all of that was beautiful, and like beautiful and honestly so deep that one of the reasons I wish I'd rewatched is because some of the stuff that they're talking about is kind of like conceptually, emotionally, like complex and interesting, and I felt like I could go back and rewatch it a couple times and get more out of it. It's a very thick text, this episode, them talking about what the play Our Town means and what that means to each individual character. I was like, I could go watch this 3 more times and maybe still miss stuff.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. Like I haven't seen Our Town in a long time. Emily asking the stage manager if anyone really understands how wonderful and precious life is while they're living it, and he says, no, maybe some saints. It's like, oh fuck. And then that reminds me of fucking Andy on The Office being like, why can't you understand? Why can't you recognize that you're living in the good times or the good old days before you're out of the good old days? Like, that kind of shit. Like, that kind of shit always gets me, dude.
Mm-hmm. And you always think you're heading towards the best thing. You always think you're waiting for the best thing to finally happen. And so you're never, and that's the thing, never truly living in the moment. And that's what we're supposed to be doing is capturing these moments, carpe diem, all these things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the episode, and I thought it was a really touching, sad episode. And I understand that, like, you can't, for the sake of pacing and for cleanliness, you can't, show clips and of everything. Because then you're like, well, if you're going to go out of your way to show Gotana, why can't you show us something else that happened over the last 800 years? Why is it only those things? It's the, why doesn't Worf have memories of Jadzia problem again? And you're just like, for fuck's sake, that was the first big loss. Let's just leave it there. Right,
yeah.
So.
Well, and I think the thing they're trying to say, particularly about Sam and his relationship, is that he lost a daughter once, and he's always been too scared to engage again like that. But apparently, do you know if that was after when he had a son? Was that after or before?
I think blink of an eye was after, but I'd have to go back and really look. I meant to do that, but
yeah,
I didn't do it. I also meant to go back and watch Real Life.
Yeah,
in blink of an eye, and I also wanted to watch a production of Our Town.
Yeah,
but I didn't do any of that shit.
No. Yeah, me too. But I really think this episode really works well. The traumas they're facing off with from the Miyazaki are like real traumas that they're dealing with, and it's really hard. And it was really cool when it cut to Darum, and they're like, what does that mean, Darum? And he's like, they have expectations on them. Like, he is immediately it was nice how
the marriage.
Exactly. He immediately took his own experience from last episode and put it on this episode, and even if he hadn't had the marriage situation last episode, we know him as a character who like is all about the expectations on him from his parents. And so it was just nice how every student had their own interpretation of what the Our Town stuff meant, and we're all learning a different thing. And I feel like we've kind of buried what I don't think is the lead of this episode, actually. But what did you think of Tilly returning?
You know what? I really enjoyed her, and it seemed like she was setting up a return.
Yeah,
she would be coming back in season 2, which they were just wrapped, by the way.
By the way, one thing that annoyed me here, they have not had a Starfleet Academy. That's the whole point of this show, right? They're relaunching Starfleet Academy.
No. They were the first class to come back to San Francisco. They said it numerous times.
But in Discovery, they were saying they haven't had it. They haven't had a Starfleet Academy. I thought that was the whole thing.
They weren't in San Francisco at the original base.
Oh, I thought it was like the first. Okay, gotcha.
They had a small group that Tilly was. They were in a space station or something.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that scene, because there's the scene where they like I think it's when they're talking to Tilly about coming and joining. They talk to her and they're like, with the burn, we're going to need to reestablish I really thought they said that there had not been And they even talk about the War College has still been around in this. Anyway, I have to go back and check that out because I really thought that there had not been a Starfleet Academy. But you may be right. I trust your memory better than mine. But
well, I was pissed off about it as well, so I paid attention and was like looking around. I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is bullshit." And then I was like, "Oh, okay."
The point being, I was like, "Why is she working with third years?" That was the thing. Yeah. I was like, how are there third years? I thought this was the first class back. Why are there third years somewhere?
Well, because, at the same time, like in Discovery, Tilly was already working with a class of Starfleet Academy. I'm like, why are they saying that it was their first time coming back to Starfleet Academy?
Oh, right. She left before the show ended and then ended up coming back. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. You're right. You're right.
But then I was like, wait, no, this would be... They're specifically saying this is the first class back in San Francisco on Earth.
Right. Okay.
In 100 and whatever years. But they did have like a small upstart on a space station, one of those star bases somewhere.
Okay. All right. I figured there had to been some sort of training program because the burn happened like 150 years ago or something. And so there had to have been some sort of... Or how long had it been? It hadn't been that long.
It was like 100 and something, but importantly though, the War College was all that Earth had because Earth became xenophobic and had shut itself off from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Discovery.
Yeah.
They're just reopening Starfleet on Earth now and expanding it.
Okay. Yeah, I must have just misremembered that. All right. I like Tilly. I think it helped. I think that a lot of the annoyance of Tilly has always been like her kind of over bubbliness, her sort of childlikeness, which I think Sam is filling that role in this show, and doing it well, in my opinion. I like her. I thought it really helped that Jet Reno was just like giving her shit from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
like taking the piss out of her a little bit, like made you, all right, well, yeah, she's a little too bubbly, but they're acknowledging it, like,
yeah,
it just makes it work better. I don't think they did a good bit of that in early Discovery, particularly with Burnham being her, which I liked her in early Discovery a lot.
Yeah. I did get a real pop up that was like showing the stark contrast between the first time you meet Tilly on Discovery in like episode 2 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And this current episode, I'm like, it is a pretty drastic difference. Like when you're watching it all these years, you're just like, I don't know, she just never grew as a character. No, the fuck she did.
Oh, she did. No, she definitely did. She definitely did. So I think Tilly was great to see her back. And like, I would take any characters from Discovery coming back. I really, really would. I love... a lot of those characters were super great and super interesting, so seeing any of them pop up would be fun.
They should bring back all the ones who didn't get lines in Discovery. The ones that they named and we were supposed to care about, but we never did because we didn't need it.
Give them that real Chief O'Brien treatment.
Yeah.
Where like he's just a transporter guy who starts to get a few lines, then bring him back in DS9 and make him awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
By the way, the showrunners for Starfleet Academy, like I just said, they wrapped season 2, and they were doing this interview, and they said, like, oh, did you do the finale to where it could serve as a series finale? And they were like, oh, absolutely not. It's a huge cliffhanger. I was like, oh no,
for season 2,
for season 3.
Oh.
Like they are a big cliffhanger at the end of season 2.
End of season 2, that's what I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, season 3 they haven't filmed yet, so they could still avoid that, but that's funny.
Yeah, I'm like, they don't have a green light for season. Okay.
Let's hope they get it, because I think this show's been great, and I'm hoping season 2 will be even better. Yeah. Dang. That's nerve-wracking, but
I know.
Especially, I'm not very happy with our media landscape right now, and we've talked about it a bunch, but the Ellisons owning Star Trek is pissing me off, and I'm sure you heard.
Oh, I did.
That they're also going to own DC, and
maybe
it's looking pretty likely.
Yeah, it is
as of today.
But,
and this is the part that I heard today that really is making me mad as fuck is apparently the head of Netflix, who had the alternate offer that ended up backing out, which is what made them de facto winners, had a meeting with Donald Trump right before he backed out, which is basically, it sounds like he went to see if they could get clearance from our king for the merger, and Donald Trump told him no, and that's when he backed his offer out. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Like, this is authoritarian bullshit, and he's giving his, like, cronies... all of our favorite media is going to Donald Trump's cronies, and it's really terrible. And all we can do is wait till we get new people in power and trust bust all these companies down to small companies again.
Yeah,
separate them all.
Did you see this thing of RFK Jr. saying that selling sweet tea is going to be banned because it's got too much sugar and caffeine? And all the comments were like, well, they've lost the South.
That's pretty good. You didn't think they could do it, but they did it. They lost the South. The one thing we like more than racism down here is our sweet tea.
Yeah. One lady said, I voted for Trump twice, but you're not going to fuck with my sweet tea.
Oh, man. Well, it wouldn't be the first time our country hinged its movements on tea, you know?
Well, all those, for years, I heard a lot of people in the South mad, angry that Michelle Obama, they wanted to put a tax on all these sweets and cigarettes and all this stuff, and how the fuck dare they, and I don't want the big guy. And
well, no. This is the thing. They weren't even doing that. They were doing that like in New York, in like super blue cities. They were doing that.
Right.
All that Michelle Obama was doing was talking about fitness, and they were like, "Fuck you!"
Right.
Like,
yeah. And so I just think it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. But from what I'm seeing online, people are pretty pissed about that.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, I don't care about sweet tea. I can make sweet tea. I don't drink sweet tea, so
yeah, I don't drink sweet tea either. Very rare occasions when it's the only option at like a wedding or something.
Well, I love the Splenda tea, but so that's kind of sweet tea. It's just artificially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Any other characters you feel like we need to get into?
I do want to say that Zoe did a great job. Tarima, she did a fantastic job.
A wonderful job. And I thought it was really interesting because I think this episode ends in a place where, like, I don't know where their relationship stands. I feel like up until this episode, she has been an extension of Caleb in the story. Everything we've learned about her and seen about her has been through the eyes of Caleb. And in this episode, she really stepped into her own, by literally separating from him and like having this fight, but also just like really, focusing on her emotional journey in this episode is allowing her to stand on her own as a character more. And I think that's awesome. Yeah.
And I feel like we got 3 major sides of her personality in this episode, and Zoe Steiner killed it on all 3.
Totally.
We got to see her drunk, but then also like very well, like hinting, like she's like, I'm not a mind reader. Wait, I'm a mind reader.
Get it?
But
I'm a mind reader. You used to like jokes.
And dude, I love the fact that like she was basically like hinting to, or not even really hinting, she was outright saying like, yeah, I know you like Genesis. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, I mean, how could you not? But at the same time, like, it's a little damning. It's a little damning for him.
Yeah. Well, and I loved, the line. Well, and having her and Genesis in the bedroom together, having that conversation, and the line about he likes you, and she's like, we're just friends. He's like, it's just until now I didn't know what kind of friends. You're a port in the storm, and I can't ever be that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so freaking good. I loved it so much. The complexity of he likes me a lot, but I'm a wild one, and like he likes that about me, but like he sometimes needs a port in the storm, and I'm not that. Like I'm not the stability he needs, and you are. And it puts us in this weird position where we both like him, he likes both of us, but like you might be better for him than I am. You know what I mean? Ugh.
Yeah.
It's good.
I love it. It was really, really solid. I thought it was a really good episode. And even though I know I have seen behind the scenes footage for season 2, I know Sam is around. I thought for just a second they're actually going to kill her. I was like,
wow.
Has this all been some sort of trick?
I thought they might be like rebooting her because at one point they say she's dead, like she is terminate. They said they were terminating her. And I thought like then they talked about putting her back together and could they do erasing her and all this stuff. And I really thought, okay, well, is that going to be the same version? Like, are we going to have a whole new Sam that's like a completely different person who was raised from birth? And I think that's what we're going to see. Which I thought it was weird that we didn't get to know her this episode at all. We don't know what this new Sam is like.
I thought that was a good choice. I thought that was a solid choice.
It would have felt rushed.
It would have felt rushed. But also I feel like we kind of did. Because they did say she'll have all of her memories from before.
Yes.
She will have 2 sets of memories. She'll remember being raised by you. She'll also remember not being raised by you. And they also said she will not be the same.
Yeah.
And in the end, when she comes back and she's like hugging all the cadets and stuff, she doesn't seem the same. She played it differently than she's ever played that character before.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, no matter what the next episode is about, it's going to have to be a little bit about Sam. Like, getting to know who this new Sam is. Maybe.
It is directed by Jonathan.
Oh,
we getting Frakes.
Nice.
Frakes back so just this episode.
I always assume he's gonna have a good like battle episode, and I know that's not always what he does, but it is what he's done enough times, and with First Contact and everything. Like I just always think it's gonna be like, oh, he's stepping in. It's gonna be some cool battle stuff going on.
Yeah. I keep every time we talk about Jonathan Frakes coming back to direct, and we're excited. I think I'm finally going to go in there and pull that DVD off the shelf and fucking watch Clock Stoppers.
Oh, have you still not seen Clock Stoppers?
I've never seen it.
Oh, dude, come over this week and watch. I'll come over. We can watch Clock Stoppers. I loved Clock Stoppers. I think I watched it in theaters multiple times, which is incredibly rare for me. I never go to the theater to see something multiple times. Yeah.
Now, that may have been one of the deciding factors for me. Because you were very excited about it.
Well, and I think, like, looking back now, it's probably not one of my favorite movies or anything. But at the time, and I was younger, I enjoyed just, like, going to the movies to go to the movies. But it was a movie that I was like, this is good, and I'd like to see it multiple times.
Yeah. You were very excitable about it.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to get you to go with me, probably, but no.
Yeah, I mean, it was like over years, like when we lived together, you were like, "You own Clock Stoppers? Have you ever seen it?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
Oh man, it's time! It's like time. They're stopping time, and I'm like, I don't care. Jonathan Frakes did it. I know.
Yeah. I remember liking it a lot. I mean, like 2002. So I was just. I remember we were in college. Oh man. Anyway, okay, so you got any feedback we need to get through? Read about?
Get through. Jesus Christ.
Well,
man.
I just mean it's late. It's late, and I don't want us to like keep yammering on. I really just mean get to, because I mean like if we're gonna if we have stuff to get through, I don't want to start it in 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah, we got a bunch of feedback actually.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Let's see. SFA episode 7, Cosine, or no, it had to be Cosine. Or maybe Codeine. Like codeine. Get it? Because the episode was slow paced?
Oh,
And
real quick,
this is from...
I meant to say this a second ago and I didn't. Jonathan Frakes making me think something's going to be an action-packed episode. The other thing that makes me think it's going to be an action-packed episode is that these last two were so not action-packed, and we've had a pretty action-packed series so far. So I feel like it's also the 9th episode in a 10-episode season. I feel like we're going to get 2 big set piece episodes. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So this email's from Sterling Gray, by the way.
Hey Sterling.
He also says he's sorry that he wrote us a lot of emails lately.
Never be sorry. We like an email.
Yeah.
Love an email.
He started doing feedback for Effie and I's original series episodes.
Ooh,
so
very cool.
I'm excited about that. Sterling says, hey guys, I think this episode is my least favorite of the season so far. This is for the Cosine. Why am I not saying it right now? Cosine. A little slow, but still solid. I'm glad we got more character development for Genesis and Darum, but I would have liked each of them to get their own episode. I feel like we could have gotten more on each of their species, especially Darum, since he seemed to be the A story. It would have been nice to see his actual homeworld and to see more of his people in their blue form. I don't remember what the deal was with that, why he looks human, other than the fact that it saves the show's makeup budget. That is that.
Yeah, that's all it is. You've seen Discovery, right?
Look at this really cool character.
Oh, they're dead.
Let's never give him a name. Ever since Ensign transferred over to the USS Yorktown.
Yeah.
He continues, I guess they are building up to a special reveal as to who Genesis's admiral father could be. Crockpot theory. She's probably going to be a Sung ancestor, so get ready for that Dadmiral to be Brent Spiner in a cameo as the great illegitimate love child to Alton Sung song. Don't fucking say that shit, man. I don't ever want another fucking Brent Spiner ancestor again or descendant.
I do not need different characters for Brent Spiner anymore. I know it's a thing. It's a thing Star Trek has done many times. But yeah, I like Data. Data's great. I'll even take a lore, but you know, whew.
He says I did like the parallel between Darum's and Genesis's stories. I can't say Genesis in possessive. Genesis. And Darum and Genesis are both fighting to be their own people. Both were willing to give up a life they love, just so it can be their own lives. Darum gave up being king of a planet so he could continue school and be his own man. And Genesis got off the easy track to the captain's chair just so she could forge her own path.
Yeah.
Or was she forced off of it?
Yeah, she was kind of forced off of it. She tried to fight for it, but I do think, I think she was caught. It is interesting. She did not come forward. Like, she really was, we often talk about how it's nice to have these characters that really have flaws, and her, like, being a cheater, basically, and like not unrepentant, but she did not back off of her cheating. She just failed to hide it well.
Yeah. She was hoisted on her own Picard. That doesn't make sense.
I liked it.
Damn. I just realized all of the main cadets are in the same boat. Sam was made to be an emissary for her people, and Jaden is refusing to the nomadic Klingon life of battle his dad wanted him to live. We don't know about Caleb yet, but I'm sure he's being groomed to lead the Venari Rawl with his mama.
Yes. Sterling's theory.
Yep. Some of that's cooking.
Yeah.
At least.
Some good crock pots in there.
Yeah. I don't like the Soong thing.
Man, what if Sterling just right on everything? He comes up with a lot of crock pot theories and they all just end up being perfect.
You know who I want her dad to be? The fucking dude from Star Trek 3. He's like, after I had that meeting, he's immortal, you know. After he had that meeting with Dr. McCoy in that bar, he was like, I've always liked the name Genesis. Genesis.
I want it to be Vance, but I feel like it's too late for that to be the reveal now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were going to get that
Vance.
after, like, episode 2 or 3. We were going to find out that was her dad. And I think that would be, it'd be neat, and I don't think it would be make the world too small, because we just find out Vance had a daughter. Not a huge deal. But, yeah, I don't know.
Mark McEwen writes in, says, I did not expect a Norm Macdonald and Star Trek Universe crossover, but here we are.
Talking about our dirty work conversation last week.
Mark, if you knew how much I love Norm Macdonald, that would not have surprised you. He says, I recently saw the even dirtier cut of Dirty Work. It was pretty good, but I think the prison scene was funnier in the original. Way out of line.
It's like jazz. It's the notes you don't play, you know?
It's
the things you leave off the screen can sometimes be much funnier.
He says, but yes, I think I agree with the sentiment that episode 7 was not quite as good as the rest, but it was still enjoyable, and it scratched an itch that I really feel has been missing from post-Enterprise Trek, spending downtime with the characters. Why do I tear up whenever something significant happens with a character from 90s Trek? It's because I actually had a good 26 episodes per season to spend with those characters. But when it's all crammed into 10 episodes per season, we end up with weird emotional disconnects, like when Discovery wanted us to feel sorrow for Ariam's loss. I didn't know Ariam from a hole in the ground, and asking me to mourn her just felt silly. But Jake? Just seeing Jake as a man who processed his father's destiny, I'm reduced to a blubbering fool.
Yep.
So I'm here for it. Spending low-stakes downtime with the characters is a huge part of what Trek has been missing lately, and I'm glad to see it here. Oh, God. P.S. The Saigon sex worker who bit off my nose just doesn't have the same ring, in my opinion. Anyway, gotta go feed them hogs! Somebody gotta feed them hogs.
What's the gotta go feed them hogs? Where's that one? Is that him dirty work?
No, that is from Norm's final stand-up bit on David Letterman on The Late Show.
Okay, I saw it, but it's been until a while.
He's got a whole bit about like how back in the old days, you know, they would be standing there for like 6 hours trying to take a single photograph, and like they would always like look really upset and perturbed because they're like, "How much longer is this gonna take? You gotta go feed them hogs. Somebody's got to feed them hogs."
He was a master. Gah.
And now, and in the future, kids will be like, "Hey, you want to see 150,000 photos of my great grandfather and what he ate every day of his life?"
Oh yeah, good stuff. I feel like it's a real gift. In those last few years of his life, he did that talk show.
Yeah.
It like pops up on my feed all the time when I'm just like scrolling, and it's so often some of the funniest stuff, and it's just I've seen that entire show, but it's just there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Andre Sparks writes in Star Trek Tilly in the Play. Hey guys, and we are so back. I'm glad that they had a feel episode that dealt with the trauma of the events of episode 6. Once again, Sam's story was so emotional. I really thought they were about to kill her. I know she has infinite knowledge, but to see how wise she is only after 209 days makes me think, was Data that wise? I know we had more episodes, seasons, and movies for Data to grow. I am curious to hear your thoughts on Sam's evolution. Here's the interesting thing about Data. You know, it's the exact opposite of what Mark was just saying. Like, with Data, is like they literally had so many episodes, they could not let him grow. They had to, like, keep... Because of the way that syndication was structured, and one of the reasons they fought DS9 so hard on being serialized was because they wanted someone to be able to pick up at any point and get, oh, that's the robot. Oh, that's the android, whatever. So I think, you know, Data having more episodes and the structure of those shows wound up stunting Data's growth.
Yeah, and all of the characters, I would
absolutely
contend.
So I like you'd see like Riker gets jealous because Troy has a guy, And then, like, next week, she's dating some dude, and he's just like, whatever, I'm having sex with this waitress from 10 Forward. Who cares? And 3 episodes later, wait, why is that guy from this planet talking to Troy again?
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? So, he continues, as for the Doctor, I completely forgot that he had a daughter. The whole time I thought he was upset about his old crew on Voyager or the Protostar dying, so it was a great twist to see it was due to his own family. That real life episode plagues me. Like, if I hear anyone say the phrase real life, I get like misty because I think of that stupid fucking Voyager episode.
Yeah, it's tough.
As for the cadets, again, getting to see them go through all the trauma and character development was very well done. Having Tilly lead the way was smart. I forget how much of a hard ass she can be. Now that they are quote unquote healed, I am sure we will see them team up in the last 2 episodes to have something or do something heroic. They can't have another tragic event so soon, right? Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Andre.
I don't know, man. I feel like we've got a pretty wide cast of characters we care about now, which in today's world of serialized television is a recipe for some really deaths that matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, they have done a really good job, by the way.
Yeah.
Of making us care about all of these characters.
Yeah, everyone in that room that was doing the play, every one of them I care about deeply, and I would be heartbroken not only for them but all of their friends for the loss, and that feels real, and so the stakes feel real going into this, last 2 episodes of the season.
Yep. All right. Well, we've gushed over the show. I accidentally caught a glimpse of some of what Stu Little had to say. So let's just go ahead and bring our bar down and
let's
decide to be gloomy. Gloomy?
Gloomy.
Glum and gloom.
Gloomy Gus, gloomy goose.
Stu. Jesus Christ, man. He calls this email Ugh Writers.
I will just based on what he just said there, I will say this episode is overwritten to hell and back. I will say that. Like,
oh yeah,
I like it. It's dense, and I do feel, like I said earlier, I could go back and rewatch this and get more out of it. But it is written to the point where I'm like, they're really stretching here, trying to, and you can tell it's a theater kid too, because of their love of our town and the way they're trying to make this play mean so much to so many different people. Whoever wrote this loves our town, just loves it so much.
Well, it's a classic, and for good reason. But I knew it was going to be. It's a Doctor episode. It's going to be a little over dramatic. It starts off with, "How many dawns have I seen?"
Yeah, well, and he loves theater too, and so it makes sense that his A plot would be juxtaposed against the B plot of theater.
Mm-hmm. But it's nothing that Star Trek hasn't done before. I mean, we had like a half of a movie with a bunch of people sitting around talking with Klingons about Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, whatever, Star Trek. Okay, Stu says, The Life of the Stars. Why is the Doctor talking to Tarima about her delicate medical condition and its needs in the middle of a public hall? Malpractice lawsuit waiting to happen.
I thought that was weird too. I was like, why did you say that so loud?
It's the future. Everyone's involved. No one cares.
Yeah, but it's a HIPAA violation.
There's no HIPAA. Everyone, there's
no HIPAA. Everyone's hip, eh?
Right. It takes a village. It takes a village to help somebody with their medical issue. Everybody knows.
Yes, but the village or the stars?
Right. Everyone takes a village to, go against the life of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
How that goes. Stu continues. Training programs using the term catastrophic feels like a very negative reinforcing vibe, as does Reno calling it a spectacular failure and telling them to get the hell off the bridge. More on this later. What more could you say, Stu?
More on this later.
Tension between Caleb and Tarima? What? This is uncharted territory. I blame Matt for this and his little analysis predicting this last week.
Hey, Stu. I'm normally really nice, but you mock the show all you want, but don't mock me.
I'm all right with both. I'm actually more okay with you mocking Matt.
Dave's more okay with you mocking either of us.
Yeah.
He's like, please mock me.
Yeah, like, just please let me enjoy this fucking show, for fuck's sake. And for those of you still bristling with confusion and or resentment, I don't care. More on this later. Yeah, I felt like that was definitely the writers saying something to the audience there. They knew what they were doing with this episode, and they were like, a certain amount of you are not going to like this. Fuck y'all. All right. Stu says, I would have tolerated yet another genre show forcing a musical episode into its repertoire. Fuck you, Riverdale. Absolutely fuck you, Riverdale. If it had at least been a Klingon musical production. I don't want that. I didn't want that, Stu. But also, I agree, fuck Riverdale. Everything. Season 1 was fantastic. It's fucking phenomenal. Like, just epic TV. Everything after sucked. It got worse and worse. Stu says, I would argue that making people participate in theater as a form of trauma counseling is in itself a form of trauma for some.
I did think that was like, I mean, I get it. It's not an uncommon trope to do like a some sort of arts class to help people through their trauma. But it seemed very rushed and weird to have it be them talk about this play for one episode and that be their trauma counseling. I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek is, that's the funny thing is like we had a kid who lost his parents or his mother or something on Next Generation. And we got like one episode of Troy counseling him. And at the end, he's like, okay. And and then we had literal seasons of her trying to figure out how to help Barclay. So many seasons, in fact, that like we picked up in Voyager years and years after TNG ended, and she's still helping Barclay.
Yeah.
So, it's just power of plot, man. I don't know. Whatever they need.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that as Sam describes 20th century American production Our Town and Tilly decides right then and there is the play, I guess no one else had any nominations, that Tarima's rethinking the whole Earth isn't the entire center of the universe comment from 2 episodes ago. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen, though. It was going to be an Earth play.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we had Jaden, given his recommendation. I just assumed everybody went before him.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Which, I wouldn't have minded seeing, part of what he was talking about. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed hearing his pitch.
Yeah, as they're eating their warrior stew, they realize it's the fucking hearts and quadratesticles.
Quadratesticles, yes.
Yeah. Did you ever you watched Gotham?
Yeah.
The whole bit where like Penguin fucking winds up feeding this woman her kids.
Oh, good lord. Nope, don't remember that. Fuck.
Yeah, her and the kids are fucking awful. They're like pieces of shit. And like, I think they're like.
Are these adult children or children?
They're like teenagers. They're like hateful, awful teenagers or something like that. Maybe they're adults. I don't. I
feel like teenagers or adults you can get away with. I don't feel like anything to. I feel like he's too much of a likable character on that show to actually feed children to someone.
Well, like in that plot, I think he had met his father, who was again played by Paul Rubens.
Yep.
And but they were the stepwife or the stepmother and the stepchildren were just fucking awful and were trying to like get his money and all this stuff.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
And then like he sat down with the stepmother for dinner and she's like eating and she's like, "Where are the kids?" He's like, "Oh, you're eating them."
so dark.
That's what it reminded me of. Is that? Sorry. Where were we? Yes, Sam, the doctor, did fall in love once, but she ended up going with Chakotay's boring ass. Yeah, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
The Doctor and Sam are going to go through 17 years together? Well, we better get angsty teenage rebel version of Sam going forwards. Opera? That's so cringe, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she's past that.
Yeah, now she's like college age, starting to understand her parents' love for things, you know?
Yeah. But every once in a while she still like looks back and goes, hey, remember when I asked you to hold my hand because I was scared and you said no? All right, here's the keys to the runabout. Okay. The episode ends in darkness just like they said the play did. Do you get it? Huh?
Oh.
Do you? I did get it.
Yeah, you did.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I was making sure.
I was just playing with him there, you know.
Okay, so this was an episode of two halves for me. The Sam Doctor stuff, excellent. Really interesting melding of the personal and the sci-fi, and used the players really well. Could maybe be viewed as contrived how the planet's time dilation allowed for this development to be fast forwarded through.
For sure.
But whatever. Yeah, exactly 17 years. Fuck that. Definitely wish
well,
it
doesn't
gotten...
have to be exactly 17 years. They just stayed for that long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they only had 2 weeks, and 2 weeks equals exactly 17 years.
Well, they didn't have just 2 weeks. That's just how long they decided to stay.
Did.
You're overly contriving the contrivance. It's already contrived that they decided to make it a time dilated world. Now you're like making up this they only had 2 weeks shit.
I know, it's kind of fun. 'Cause why not? Especially if this modifies the character's behavior in a noticeable way going forwards. I hope it does it better. Definitely wish it had gotten more time than it did. As for the other stuff, well, at the risk of being redundant, you can tell a writer wrote this. One thing I can tell from a lot of things I've watched over the years is that if a writer can take an opportunity to depict what they do for a living as being super important beyond just entertainment, they will. If they could depict the power of drama as being able to resurrect the dead, they would. But sadly, in this case, they just have to settle for it being a more effective means of mental health recovery. I know alternative forms of therapy are a thing, but the fact that we were told they had trauma counseling, which we were never shown, and it wasn't working, but this did, that's a little questionable for me. They couldn't even pick a play that maybe a lot more people who aren't American would be familiar with. In conclusion, I would say this portion of the episode kinda insists upon itself. Putting aside the continuity issue of how none of lingering anxiety and breakdown of their functioning as a unit was indicated last week, I also don't like that Tilly is the one doing this, because, what are her qualifications exactly to determine the best way to help their trauma? Teachers aren't psychiatrists, and just because she's been through some stuff mentally, I don't think that really gives her the right to go at the cadets' business like that. I got a little pissed at the multiple times Tarima brought up how she saw through what all this was, and Tilly just kept pressing on and was validated by the story for it, which also brings me to something else. The more on this later thing from above that's been bugging me the whole season so far. What's with this jokey, except when it isn't belligerent attitude all the teachers have towards the cadets? When there's disagreement or sometimes just failure, see the get the hell off my bridge above. From forcible haircuts to the dismissiveness to the complaints about the pranks in episode 3 to Jet's overall snarky demeanor and so on, there's a constant tough shit deal with it kid vibe from the adults, and I know that's a way to go with supposedly lighthearted school set things, and maybe it's tough love or setting them up with something to overcome, but I am finding it a bit mean-spirited, smug, and even arguably borderline bullying at times, which feels like a weird direction to go when an element of the show is supposed to be Starfleet making up for their mistakes and failing this generation during the post-burn period. I will credit them for making the Tarima stuff about more than just her and Caleb. That's just one smaller part of the whole, and Steiner got to stretch herself a bit more acting-wise with this, though her getting drunk reminded me of Troy in First Contact with the tequila. That new neural inhibitor is just a Chekhov's gun waiting to happen, though. P.S. I can't help but find it funny that every time New Trek wants to pull footage from the TNG to Voyager era shows, they have to make it a filtered holographic thing or a fuzzy mental thing just to hide the 90s to 2000s visual quality. Yeah, but I still loved it.
Well, they did talk about the implant being like still as she does what she did on the Miyazaki, she could die. It sounded like, right?
No, I think it made it less. I don't know.
I thought they said he said if you go through another event like that, it could seriously damage you. It's not like a thing that she could just do again. Okay. That's one of the reasons they brought her to Starfleet instead of leaving her at the War College. Like she was severely damaged from the first time. So we talked about it having stakes and not being a thing she could just do at any moment, and like making it a thing that could kill her. I guess like that's some stakes to it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Other than that, I like the episode. I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stu. Like, I don't agree with you at all. About writers not being an important thing, like beyond entertainment. Like, I think stories are, how we understand each other, and in a lot of ways how we move forward. And I know I've overcome some of my trauma from writing and reading other people's work, and I absolutely I think, maybe writers do insist upon their profession a bit more than they should, but at the same time, it's because everyone else completely fucking diminishes it.
Well, it's also writers write about what writers know, and, writing... It's like how many songs are about songwriters, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's the thing. Yeah. You're going to write what you know, and I agree with you completely. I think the stories are incredibly important. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this kind of work and podcasting about so many different stories if I didn't feel that way, if I didn't feel that diving into them was worth something. There's like nuggets of interesting and like moral, like, lifeblood like circulating through these shows, and I love talking about them and trying to bring that stuff out, because podcasts are incredibly important, and you have to sorry,
I knew you were going there. I was waiting on it. I was waiting. I was just waiting in the wings. Like, here we go.
No, but obviously I love stories, and I think they're important. But yeah, it's also true that writers just write about writers sometimes. And I took it less as like about writers and more about this writer loves our town, like loves our town. I have very passing familiarity with our town. I don't think I've ever actually seen the actual play. So to say that to Stu, like it's not just not being an American thing. I don't think I've heard of this play many times, but I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, I was never involved in a production of it or anything. Like, I've just enough things have referenced it over the years that I did watch it at some point on YouTube. Like, I was like, okay, what the fuck is our town?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't involved in extracurricular or anything anywhere. I hated that shit. So yeah, I'm just not gonna. I do agree that they're like, why did they let that? Stu brings up an interesting point about the hair thing. They let Jaden keep his long hair, but they took that away from Caleb. Because he's like, nah, you're not cutting my hair. And then he like goes, they transport him and his hair's gone.
Yeah.
So like, that's fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I did want to touch on that, what Stu was saying. I mentioned this in the first episode. I actually think the tone they're striking with the cadets is kind of important to the show. I think I said this in the first week, because their problems are important, but their problems aren't always life or death. Sometimes they are, and this episode, I think they were treating their trauma with some seriousness, but other things are problems of college kids, and people that are older and with context, they take the piss out of those people. You know what I mean? Like, and I think I really do think it's important to the show to have that perspective where the teachers are going like, oh, you got boy problems? Wah, wah, wah. Like that's just not what, because the show has these other stakes that are like galactic in span. And so when you're having the college student obsessed with his girlfriend while there's like galactic stakes at at hand, it feels like you need someone to slap him and go like, hey, focus up. That's not the most important thing right now. That's just a thing you're dealing with and you're passing through. We all pass through that. Now you need to focus on the thing where you're learning to be a Starfleet officer, because it could be life or death, you know?
And it absolutely feels accurate for someone like Jet Reno to be like, get the hell off my bridge.
Precisely. I think all of the adults do that to a degree, but Jet Reno, that is a specific... She is more biting with it than the other characters are.
Well, she and Laura Thok.
Yeah, Laura Thok, I don't know. She's less comical with it. She's more like just kind of commanding. I don't see her like really making fun of the cadets as much, at least thus far. But we'll see. I don't know. They all kind of interact with it differently. And I guess what I'm saying is like I like the fact that Jet Reno is just kind of a little more curmudgeonly about the students than everyone else.
Yeah. Remember Jet said that when they were doing those games, that she was like, oh yeah, she wanted the people who got out to something about like basting in their eyeball blood or something weird. It was always like, oh, I talked her down, you know? Like, I can't remember what it was.
That's
it
funny.
Was something like awful, like, oh, something like a bird pulling their eyes out or something. It was something really fucked up. She's like, oh yeah, I convinced her that wasn't a good idea.
Laura Thok seems like she's just a little more like actually seems like she wants to be violent towards the children sometimes, like her culture and stuff. She's like, but she's more sort of being kept in check by everyone. So I think of her less as like a comedic force, and more as like a force for everyone else to be comedic about or whatever.
Yeah, it's just, I think it boils down to like, if you think about it too hard, it's a little weird, but that has always been true of every Star Trek. If you start thinking about like the Roddenberry vision and like, oh, what are we supposed to be doing here? This is weird that this character has, a fear of transporters in the 23rd century. This is weird that, this character is a little stiff and curmudgeonly toward Data. It's like, why does McCoy hate Vulcans so much? Why does Pulaski hate androids so much? Why would Riker get jealous? Everyone has sex with everyone in the future. It's the Roddenberry future, We've evolved beyond all of these petty insecurities. Well, then you don't get any kind of character drama.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is like you don't evolve past all these petty insecurities, and you don't evolve past every type of racism is the wrong word, but in this, I guess, like speciesism or just othering other people, like, and that's the thing. You've got to keep learning those lessons to grow as a species and keep growing as a species. So I don't know.
You got to have O'Brien calling them bloody spoonheads.
Yeah, you do. You got to have that. All right. Was that is that the end of the feedback there?
That's it.
All right. Well, we're gonna get off of here. We record pretty late again tonight. Hopefully next week we'll be back on a regular schedule. I'm back in town now.
Okay.
We're recording a little earlier. Well, we'll be back soon, guys. Jill on True.
Live long and prosper, you bloody cardies.
Thank you for listening to the Star Trek Universe Podcast, a Stranded Panda production. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv for his web videos. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast or listen to his music. Just search for Matthew Carroll anywhere you get music.